morning, everyone. Wow, we got a great group here. First of all, for anyone that doesn't know me, because I was out for 6 weeks in December, and we have a few new people that joined us. I'm Amy Ferrari. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for Mosaic Concierge Living. I'm thrilled to see so many of you in person, and I do want to say thank you for those who reached out to me while I was recovering from a pretty brutal shoulder rotator cuff surgery. So thank you very much for those who sent cards and messages and things to me. I do really appreciate it. Um, Today we are excited to have Moving Station here in person. I've got Dan Amdar, who is the CEO and president of Moving Station, and Jennifer Hornacek, who's the vice president of Moving Station. I don't know what your title is, Jen. She's the jack of all trades and will make it happen. What I do want to remind the people that we have on Zoom is to please keep your microphone muted. If you have a question, which we expect to answer questions at the end of this presentation, this is for the people on Zoom, to put your question in the chat room or the chat feature that you could find at the bottom of your screen. You just hover over the bottom, and Ray will ask the question. We're not going to open up the microphones for you. Ooh, for that reason. So, so I do want to introduce Jennifer and Dan. Here's this Jennifer. We're going to get started. They are here to tell you the next steps of what happens. Oh, thanks, Sandra. The next steps of what happens with your personal relocation manager and a timeline from now until opening, which is approximately 18 months. Today, we are on time and on budget. I say that today. So I keep saying that until they tell me it's not on time and on budget. So I'm expecting that we are on time and on budget. We're working really, really, really hard to get our community to the place that you all hopefully will be moving into. So for also reminders, there is a code check that's right outside of our door, and beyond that are the men's and ladies' restrooms. So without further ado, thank you, Jennifer and Dan, for being here from Chicago. I'm going to hand this over to Jennifer.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. It was funny this morning. We're from Chicago. It's just as cold as Chicago as it is here. And a friend of mine who has an in-ground pool sent a message this morning saying only 87 more days till we open the pool. So things to look forward to. My name is Jennifer Hornacek, and I'm with Moving Station. And Moving Station is provided to each and every single person here who's moving into Mosaic Concierge Living with their very own personal relocation manager to guide you every step of the way. How are you all doing on downsizing? Really? Downsizing, get rid of stuff, garbage bags. I'm just kidding. We're going to be talking about that today. And also the real estate market. Anybody wondering when the right time to put your home on the market is? How do we coordinate all of this? We're going to be talking through that as well. Your personal relocation manager, again, is paid for by Mosaic Concierge Living to help you every single step of the way. There is no wrong question. There is no right question. Every single one of us in this room is going to have a different idea of what their move is going to look like. My husband and I are going to be moving I'm going to be staying a little bit in Chicago, but he is moving to Arizona. He and I have been married for 35 years. We have very different ideas of what this move is going to look like. So when I tell you your personal relocation manager is there to support you, they really are. They're not selling you a thing. They're just there to help you and provide resources to help make this move as easy as possible. And today we're going to be talking about smart strategy for your next chapter at Mosaic Life Concierge Living. Okay, let's see if I'm going to do this right. Brian. Okay, little technical difficulty. Downsizing a little bit, a lot of it. Good. I'm so proud of you. That's excellent. Okay, looks like we've got our technical difficulty fixed. Thank you to Brian and Ray. So today we're going to be talking about who is your personal relocation manager? How can they help you? Why is Mosaic Concierge Living helping us, providing us with a personal relocation manager to help us every step of the way? The importance of a CMA, it's a real estate term that stands for comparative market analysis. And let me finish one more, and then Ray has an announcement. We're also going to be talking about some downsizing tips and tricks. And it looks like by the show of hands, it's going to help a little bit. And how to prepare your home for sale, because at some point in time, a lot of us are going to want to use our home sale proceeds from our home sale for the balance of our entrance fee. But hold on real quick. Ray has a special announcement.
Thank you, everybody on Zoom, for bearing with us. So you should be seeing a PowerPoint right now. You will be able to see the room, but there's so many people in our Zoom room that it's probably off your screen. And honestly, the camera view is just the back of people's heads. So we want you to look at the PowerPoint. So if you're viewing that, it is exactly what you're supposed to be viewing, and you should be able to hear us. If you can't hear us, please put it in the chat that you can't hear us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. I love that. It's like dinner theater, isn't it? Okay, so before we get started, how many rubber spatulas do you all have? I'm just curious. So my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and for those of you that joined us a little bit over a year ago, we talked about their journey from their home of 47 years in a Chicagoland suburb to a community, life plan community in Phoenix, Arizona. And I really thought it was funny. I said to my mother-in-law, I cannot believe how many rubber spatulas you have. What is not in this picture are the two that had melted in the dishwasher. I assure you, you do not need this many rubber spatulas, and start really thinking about what you really need. All of you, we've passed out a timeline. Great suggestion from one of the future residents of Mosaic Concierge Living. Just to kind of keep you on track, you'll notice the common theme is keep organizing, keep downsizing, keep donating, but it's going to at least give you a better idea, and it can change, of what's to come in the next few months. Anybody remember a station wagon? And I shared this story. I'm going to share it again for those that heard it over a year ago. Your personal relocation manager is kind of like My Family Vacations. Do you remember in 1976, that family station wagon? I don't know about you. We didn't have seatbelts. We did not have air conditioning. And we had the back seat, the bump out, right? If the window was down, the fear was somebody was going to pop out. But that's how we traveled every year. Before we would leave for our 2-week vacation to the Badlands or to Mount Rushmore, wherever we were going, there were 5 children in my family. My mom would have probably woken us up at least 5 or 6 times to get ready to leave. She was finally done packing the car, packing us up, and she would climb in the back to take a nap while my dad was herding us into the car. He would line all 5 of us up in the driveway, and our knees would be shaking because we knew one of us was going to get the horrible job holding the road map. You remember the road maps? There was no such thing as GPS, right? And I want you to think of your personal relocation manager as they are just there to hold your roadmap. You are the driver, you are in control, but they are there to help you with knowing what exit to get off of, right? What to do with certain things, or here's a situation, I don't know how to get, my children are scattered all over the country. How do I move all these pieces of furniture to them? And the list can go on. But I want you to remember, you are the driver. You are always in control, and your personal relocation manager is just there to hold the roadmap. That's it. So things your personal relocation manager can help you with is, and I encourage all of you to take a minute to talk to your personal relocation manager and create a plan for your plan. What does your timeline look like? Do you have a family vacation coming up? Do you have things coming up in your life? And maybe for couples, you might not be on the exact same page, but try and sit down and create that plan for your plan. What is the most important for you in this journey? And your personal relocation manager can truly guide you to help you successfully achieve that plan. We are here. We have done an incredible job of vetting vendors. Wherever all of you are coming from, I promise you there are vendors from companies, people that are called like a move manager. They're a downsizer. They're also called organizers. They're called different things, but they can help you with things such as one of my favorite things they can do is help you create a space plan. And that's taking your exact floor plan of your apartment at Mosaic and showing you what your things that you currently own, will look like in your new space. I'll show you an example a little bit later. Funny story, my mother-in-law, and for those that heard the story before, I apologize. My mother-in-law had never had her own bedroom set. Never. She always had hodgepodge pieces from different cousins and aunts and uncles, but she never had a real bedroom set. So when they were making their move from the Chicago suburbs to Arizona, my mother-in-law said to my father-in-law, I want a bedroom set. And she went big. Her thought was, my bedroom in Chicago is 14 by 11, and my new primary bedroom at my community in Arizona is 14 by 11, so it should fit. She got a 4-poster bed, 2 nightstands, a low boy and a high boy. And of course, you think, right, 14 by 11, 14 by 11, of course it's going to fit. When they had a space plan done, they realized they could never get out of bed to go to the bathroom because the outlets are different, the windows are different, right? So space plans are a great way of identifying what you're going to take with you and what you're not going to be bringing with you. And that, again, is through a vendor, one of the many vendors we have vetted that can help you with that. We've also vetted just an enormous amount of moving companies that can provide all sorts of different services for you. For some people, they want the moving company to pack for them and unpack for them, and so on. Maybe some people need a moving company that they want to move pieces of furniture to their adult children who are scattered throughout the country. We can help you with all of that. Your personal relocation manager is also going to be scheduling your move-in date, your financial occupancy date, which is the day you start paying your monthly fee, and also your settlement date. Your financial settlement date is the date that you're paying the balance of your entrance fee. So those dates are very important, and your personal relocation manager will be helping you with all of those. They're also there to provide you with an accurate home value, help you with understanding what your home would list for today, how long it would take, providing you with that CMA, which again stands for comparative market analysis, very common term in real estate, giving you a good baseline, what to work from. And we'll talk about that in a minute. They're there to also help analyze that market data that is provided to you from those local realtors that they've researched and vetted. Yes, Marilyn. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yes, exactly. Marilyn's comment was a lot of us have been already given realtors, and we've already had that CMA provided to us to watch the real estate market. Will our personal relocation manager still be able to help us navigate and utilize that realtor? Absolutely, yes. And collaborate, absolutely. Collaboration is very important when you're selling your home. Absolutely. Good, very good common question. Yes. And also help establish the best time to list your home on the market. Remember, establishing that time isn't always spring market, right? Which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's the right time for you. And I want you to remember that, because honestly, in any real estate market, no matter where it is in the United States, there's always a buyer for every home at any time of the year, even on Christmas Day. It doesn't matter. But if it's priced right and marketed right, a home will always sell. The timeline for putting your home on the market is based on your timeline, not ours. So this is actually my mother-in-law. Don't tell her. I have her in a slide. Sitting down to write down what was her plan for her plan. And really, summer of 27 is going to be here before we know it. We always, always call you from area code 312. So if you see a 312, it's probably for you. It's probably your personal relocation manager. But I don't know about you. I get so many spam calls. Don't answer it if you don't know who it is. We always leave a voicemail, always. So don't worry. So we're going to kind of, while we're talking through how your personal relocation manager can support you, all the things we need to start thinking about today. The one thing we hear all the time is, do I have to use my personal relocation manager? You don't. There is no obligation to use your personal relocation manager. But my question to you would be, why not? Right? How many of you know a realtor? Okay. If you did not raise your hand, you're lying to me. We all know a realtor, and my dog knows a realtor, right? We do. But you got to trust results, not relationships. At least get another set of eyes on your home for your home value. We want you to truly take care of your investment in your home and get as much money as you can from that investment. But your personal relocation manager is there. I want you to think about you and your personal relocation manager being in the center of this chart and all the different things that have to happen for you to make your move to Mosaic, right? You've got to start downsizing, start thinking about what would your home list for? When is it going to go on the market? What if my home sells fast? Where am I going to live between now and when my new apartment is ready at Mosaic? When do I get a moving estimate? Who do I call to get moving estimates? I'm just overwhelmed. I just need help with this whole process. And how do I know what furniture is going to fit, won't fit, and so on? Your personal relocation manager is literally there to be part of your wheel, the cog in your wheel, to just help you keep rolling and moving towards moving day. Yes, Marilyn. Yeah. Marilyn's question was if would my personal relocation manager be able to provide me resources of investors, of collectors, of resources to sell my furniture, to sell my collectibles, to sell my snow baby collection, whatever you have, right? Yes, but we don't have, remember, our job is all about moving, but what we do well is work with all of our partners to get other resources for you. So the answer is yes. We might not have it right on our fingertips, but I promise we're going to find it. And this was another comment we received. How come my personal relocation manager is spending so much time? Every time they call me, it's about my house, about my real estate. You got to think about this. In your journey, selling your home is just a tiny part, but it's a big part for a lot of people. Our job is our business is relocation, but our passion is to serve. We want to make sure that you get the most money you can from your investment and time it the way you need to in order to have access to those proceeds when it's time to pay the balance of your entrance fee. So that is truly why we spend so much time. Real estate changes. Our world changes. Our world is a little bit different today than it was a year ago, right? So we're constantly want to make sure that we're protecting your investment of your home sale. And when is the best time to sell my home? I don't know if you ask me, I know lots of realtors and I always hear spring market. When is spring market? Anybody know? I have a friend, Beth Burt, who sells homes in Chicago, and she would tell you it's the day after Super Bowl Sunday. If you asked another friend of mine, Joe Thorne, he's at Coldwell Banker, he would tell you it's January 7th. Why January 7th? I asked him. Because he likes the number 7. Every realtor has a different idea of when spring market is. But here's the thing you need to understand. It doesn't matter. Spring market, when your home is priced properly and marketed properly, which is very different than how we sold homes during COVID. Anybody know anybody that sold a home during the pandemic that had multiple offers and never went on the market, right? Again, my poor dog that I keep picking on could have sold a home during COVID. It took no talent, no skill. There was so much supply or demand over the supply we had. Today, it is imperative that it's priced properly and marketed properly. And when a home is priced properly and marketed properly, every single day of the year is a spring market because there is a buyer that is looking for your house. Think about that. Something we really recommend is, again, that importance of a CMA and comparative market analysis, as Marilyn was mentioning. They did that a long time ago, as they committed a long time ago to Mosaic. And they took advantage of working with their personal relocation manager. The one neat thing about your comparative market analysis, or CMA, and getting that now is it allows you to watch the market, watch what's going on with real estate. Your personal relocation manager is truly a real estate expert. They can help you identify and understand what's going on. Anybody have neighbors that have sold homes? Yeah. And you think right away, oh, my home will sell 700, 800. But do you know for sure, right? So your CMA, comparative market analysis, really gives you a good baseline to work from. Do your homework now. Watch the market, because we are, and we want to be able to watch it with you. And what are the benefits of working with my personal relocation manager for my home sale? And is there a convenient and easier way to sell my home? Yes and yes. The benefits of working with your personal relocation manager are they are truly there to be your unbiased advocate. They are there to really have your back, be your watchdog. There's something in real estate called agency. An agency means that if you are listed with another realtor that we did not refer or recommend to you, we cannot have your back. And I'm going to give you an example. Working with a couple in Sacramento, California, they moved to a community in Austin, Texas. They did not like the agent they were working with. They did not bring them showings and an offer. The agent tried to charge them $5,000 to terminate the listing agreement early. That should not happen. And we were able to be involved because we had referred that agent to say, no, Rich at Coldwell Banker, that's not what we agreed to, and you may not charge them that money. So we're there to make sure that you are paying only your commissions and closing costs. That's it. There should be no 495 MLS reciprocal fee. It doesn't exist. Multiple listing service reciprocal fee. A $750 processing fee. We see a lot. If you terminate the agreement early, sometimes in listing agreement, it could range anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. They're just profit centers. So we're there truly to be your unbiased advocate. Because of agency and because we're referring that agent to you, we do take a referral fee from the listing agent. It does not affect your commission whatsoever. It is extremely normal and standard in real estate, but I always want to be transparent with you and let you know that. That allows us to work on your behalf, to really have your back, help you have a voice in the transaction with that realtor. The folks I'm sharing in Sacramento, California, they do not want to talk to another realtor again. And they want us to do all the talking for them. We are happy to do that. And we can do that because we have skin in the game and we're able to avoid agency. So let's talk about easier ways to sell a home. So if you think about it, when you're interviewing realtors, you're getting ready to list your home, sign's going to go on the front lawn, maybe it won't. You're going to have a realtor tour, you're going to have realtor showings. You're selling your home traditionally, right? The way we think of selling a home. On average, when you're working with your personal relocation manager, we're able to get your home sold in half the time. We're that good. We know what we're doing. We know how to hold that realtor, their feet to the fire. But because we believe in our vetting and our research of those agents, those realtors so much, we also can offer you a program called Quick Buy. It's not for everybody, but it is definitely available for you. Quick Buy comes with a couple of different options in their suite of services. Quick Buy Immediate Offer will buy your home and close in as few as 14 days. Our Quick Buy Advantage, which is a new program to Quick Buy, allows you, it's a great alternative to a bridge or a HELOC, right? It allows you to have 76.5% of your home sale proceeds up front. And when Quick Buy goes to put your home on the market to sell, you get the upside. So it's a good alternative to a bridge or a HELOC. And of course, our Quick Buy Lock program, which is just an amazing program. It allows you the safety net of a quick buy offer, but you're able to sell your home traditionally. And if at any time from the day you list to 180 days, you decide you want to exercise or take that quick buy offer, you can. And our quick buy lease back, which is Quick Buy buys your home and you lease your home back from them until your new home is ready. Again, these options are available to you. Your personal relocation manager will go through all the nits of the programs. They're amazing programs, but they're not for everybody. But please know they exist for each and every one of you. What if I list my house in January of 2027? Can you believe that's like 11 months away? And how do I time my home, the listing of my home? What if other Mosaic future residents are listing their home in my neighborhood at the same time, right? In a sense, you kind of create a submarket. That's why it's so important to take advantage of working with your personal relocation manager. They are going to watch the market with you. They're going to be able to identify what's going on and help you navigate when the right time it is to put your home on the market. What does this mean? We talked earlier, not everybody raised their hands. We'll try it again. Who knows a realtor? Oh my gosh, everybody's got to raise their hand. We all do, right? You've got to trust results, not relationships. That's it. And when selling, pricing and marketing of your home is imperative. It must be priced properly and it must be marketed properly. You've got to take advantage of the gift that Mosaic's giving to you of your personal relocation manager. Why not? It's free. Remember, their services are free of charge. All the time they're willing to spend with you and will spend with you. But if you ever chose to work with a vendor, every vendor we will recommend to you is a free, no obligation consultation. And that's important to know. You're not going to be charged a travel fee or anything like that. It's truly a free, no obligation consultation. You will pay for those vendors if you chose to work with them, but you will not pay for the help from your personal relocation manager. So I asked our team of personal relocation managers what they've been hearing from you that they're working with and supporting. And a couple things kept on coming up, and I thought, let's talk about them today. One was about home inspections, and one was about selling an as-is condition. Has anybody ever heard about selling an as-is condition? Yeah. So let's talk about that. What is that? Oops, I jumped ahead. So should I have a home inspection before I list my home? What do you think? How many hands are yes and how many hands are no? Yes? Okay, how many are no? The answer is no. Now, remember, you've lived in your home a long time. I bet you know all the things wrong with your home. I bet you do. I bet you know what stair on your staircase squeaks every time you step on it the right way or the right time of the year. When you get a home inspection before you list your home, you are going to be made aware of all of the things wrong in your home that you now are obligated to disclose to the buyer. Now, disclosing and a home inspection are two different things. If you know your basement is flooding every 5 years in the southeast corner of a cellar that's not in the finished part of your basement, you need to disclose that. But getting a home inspection prior to putting your home on the market is a big waste of money. The buyer, per contract, is allowed the right to get a home inspection. Let them pay for their own home inspection and let them have their home inspection when they go to contract. But there are a few towns every now and then where they will require a pre-inspection prior to listing your home. A good full-time realtor will know how to guide you on that and let you know if your area requires that. Very few require that, but every now and then we see it pop up. But as a rule of thumb, on average, you should not get a home inspection prior to listing your home. This home actually exists in Lowell, Indiana. My family's lake house is in Cedar Lake, which was right by Lowell. And I thought it was a perfect picture for I'd like to list my home in as is condition. What are the pros and cons? Well, the funny thing about as is condition is, to me, if I'm selling as is, I'm thinking, oh, I don't need to do a thing, right? But that's not what it means. When you sell your home in as is condition, it does not protect you from any latent defects, such as a leaking roof or a leak in your roof you didn't even know about, seepage in the basement, maybe you have some foundation cracks, and so on. As is condition sends a message, in my opinion. The pros of it are, yes, it's sending a message right away to the buyer. I'm not doing anything. The con to that is it's sending a message to the buyer. There's something wrong with your house, right? So what I always recommend with as is, if you just love the idea of doing that, then have a good full-time realtor is going to guide you through that. But when I was selling real estate, I would have the as is portion negotiated into the contract when the buyer offered their offer. So at that time you could bring it in. But for marketing, it's pros and cons. Those are my opinions. I really recommend when you meet with a full-time realtor, get their opinions as well. They're the ones looking at your house, and they're the ones that are going to be marketing and selling your home. Get their opinions on what you should do. Who likes what ifs? Don't we all wonder, like, wait, what if? Let's talk through those. All right, what if? What if I'm not certain what my home is worth? I bet you really don't know what your home is actually worth. Talk to your personal relocation manager. Have them send out 2 agents to give you a CMA, or comparative market analysis, to help you see what your home actually would sell for. How long is it going to take in their opinion? And so on. Does not mean that you have to sell your home today. Your personal relocation manager will absolutely ensure that that realtor is not going to call you and say, oh, Marilyn, could I have a one-time showing? This buyer's only in town this weekend. I know you're not ready to sell your home. I promise that won't happen. It's for education, to help you understand what your home would sell for today, and also how long it's going to take. More importantly, it allows you to have that baseline to really watch the market and what's going on. I think I have repairs or remodeling to do before I can sell. You absolutely do, for sure. But do you really think doing all this repairs and remodeling are going to help you sell your home? Don't make those decisions on your own. Talk to a full-time realtor and get their opinion. They're the one that has to sell the home. And I'll give you an example. I grew up with my husband in high school, and my in-laws' home, since like the 80s, had a basement bathroom that was like pink tile, but it wasn't like vintage pretty. It was like the flesh color crayon pink. It was awful, but it never worked. It stored pop. It never, ever worked. So my in-laws said, we need to redo the bathroom before we put the home on the market. Well, that's going to take time and money, and they needed to get their home on the market, right? So we talked to their full-time realtor, and their full-time realtor said, you can do it if you want to, but I cannot give you any more dollars in your listing price. So make sure when you're doing things, you're getting money back. You're not just putting money in because you want to. In their situation, what they did was their full-time realtor put a little sign outside the bathroom door that said to the buyer, create your dream spa bathroom. Because think about it, well, no matter what you put in, the buyer is going to rip it out and put what they want in, right? So again, a great example of talking to that full-time realtor to get their opinion before you decide to make any changes with upgrades, remodeling, repairs. Now, if you have a shingle off your roof and water's coming in, please repair that. But if it's something that you're not sure about, definitely get another opinion. I have sorting, organizing, downsizing, and decluttering to do before I can have a realtor over to list my home. Yes, you do. But I can promise you, every realtor has seen a lot. Your home does not have to be perfectly decluttered in order for them to come through. They can see past it. And you need to get them in to give them an idea. You do not have to be completely downsized. organized before they can come over. And don't be embarrassed. You're moving, right? It's okay, but you need to get a pricing opinion of a CMA to understand where your home sits today. I am concerned my home won't sell when I need it to. So are we. So make sure you do your homework. And I promise we've got you. We've got your backs, and we're going to make sure that you are successful all the way through your journey of moving to Mosaic. Whether it's selling your home, downsizing, organizing, whatever the situation is, we're here to help you. And I think I know an agent. We talked about this. I'm not going to make you hold your hands up again because I'm going to say not everyone's going to do it again. So I know we all know an agent, right? But again, trust results, not relationships. And I'm just not ready. I know this is really, really hard, but we're going to start walking through some easy tips and tricks in a few minutes that are going to help you be a little bit ready. And before you know it, it's going to start feeling so liberating and very cathartic to be freed of all of your stuff. Oh, I have lots of time to get started. No, you don't. I promise. It's going to go fast. It really is. Take on little projects every single day if you can. And before you know it, you're really ready to go. When should I start downsizing? Asking my adult children if they want things. Do you have any tricks and tips for downsizing? Well, how is that for a lead up? Start asking your adult children now. What do you want? You're not going to see them till August. Everybody have a phone with a camera? Send it to your children. Do a group text. The first one that responds gets it. Don't be upset if they do not text you back. They don't always want everything. But start really the things you think they're going to want, they probably won't. I hope they do. In my family, they didn't. But start doing that now and start thinking about what this is going to look like. And maybe even creating a staging area within your own home of what's going to Jeff's house or what's going to Jimmy's house and so on, right? So that you're organized. So tips and tricks. So don't start big. Do not go in your attic. And that's actually, that picture is the right way. Do not go in the attic that you haven't been in years. Start small. Every day, once a week, maybe start with until we meet again. Set an egg timer, your iWatch, 30 minutes. Start with a drawer. How many rubber spatulas do you think you have? How many do you need? How many wooden spoons still work and aren't cracked in half, right? Really start going through a drawer. And before you know it, you're going to be downsized. It all adds up so fast. But the rule of thumb is start small. Anybody have any heirlooms? It's hard, isn't it? Think about what you're going to take with you, what you're going to keep, what your family doesn't want it, but you feel like you have to keep it. It's an heirloom. It's part of you. Some ideas. Well, first, go easy. Take your time with it. Heirlooms are hard. It's an emotional decision. And there's things you can do to repurpose what you have. And I actually brought visuals this time. When we met over a year ago, I talked about my father-in-law and his army trunk and how it's so important to him, but it was awful, but it was important to him. So we actually had it made into a coffee table. We had a glass top made for the top, and it's their current coffee table. And I also shared my mother-in-law's mom worked for Spiegel catalog. Anybody remember Spiegel? And when she retired, they gave her sewing machine. Now, this picture is not the size it was. It's as big as this table. But my mother-in-law uses it as a side table right now. So don't be afraid to repurpose things. Tricks we did with heirlooms was my in-laws have what is the lady? Alexa. And we have photos of all of their heirlooms that are looping all day long. So even though they don't have the room for it, they can still see it every single day. So lots of tips and tricks to make it a little bit easier. But the rule of thumb with anything that means something to you that nobody wants, it is hard. It is really hard to break up with it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Marilyn's question for those at home was if I have, would Mosaic be interested in things to be donated to them, such as maybe artwork for the walls or a ping pong table or a pool table? That is something that we are talking about. We'll definitely provide that information to you probably in the next 2 months, but that's definitely it's come up before. And thank you. I sometimes like with decor, there's already uh, interior decorator who's designed all of your walls, and sometimes adding new things might not work with the theme, but it's certainly something to think about, and it's definitely on our list to talk about. Thank you for the question. Okay, anybody love post-it notes as much as I do? I love post-it notes. And when you're moving, they're awesome. So in the back, kind of by Dan, oh, we brought you all a Valentine, by the way. By the Valentines, are post-it notes. Bring one home with you. Start using them in your daily life. For my in-laws, blue was the color that all of their adult children and grandchildren were going to get. Whatever the blue post-it note was on, they were going to get. Yellow were the things they were going to donate, and pink were the things they were going to take with them. And I can't tell you how many times they moved around those colors, changing their mind of what they were going to take with them or not. But it's interesting, it's visual, and it doesn't hurt the furniture. It's easy to move around. So I'm a big believer in the post-it note, and I encourage you to try using it for your organizing of what you're going to bring with you to your new home at Mosaic. And I love post-it notes, and we brought a bunch with us. So please take one with you. Ohio rule. We talked about this over a year ago. That stands for only handle it once. If you pick something up, you're going to make a decision right away. Do I need it? Do I want it? Does it work? And pick a room in your house that has a door. Put three garbage bags in there. One is donate, one is you're giving away, and one is throwaway. As the bags get full, put them in your car and bring them to where they're going. It's a really easy way, but don't put it down and think about it. Oh, I'll deal with that later. When you all go home today, you're going to get your mail. Do not put it down. Walk right to the recycle bin. Now, do not throw away any bills or statements, please. But how much junk do we get in our mail? And you're already getting rid of another pile. So, Ohio, only handle it once. If you practice this before you know it, it becomes habit, and it's wild, but it really does work. Easy ways to get started. How many of you have twin sheets and you don't have any twin beds? Right? My mother-in-law, I think, had 12 sets. None of them matched. What do we do with them? We brought them to a local animal shelter. They love old sheets and towels and blankets and things that don't work. How many of you have the spices that came on the spice rack when you bought it? They are going to smell like they're still good, and they're not going to hurt you. But I promise if you took a little bite of that oregano leaf, it is going to taste like nothing. Spices do expire. Go through your spice cabinet. Sometimes there are expiration dates. If you see a container in your cabinet without a UPC code, I can promise you it's not good. Get a garbage bag. How many of you saved magazines? Anybody save magazines? My mother-in-law every year did subscriptions from her grandchildren for people, and she felt it was so expensive, so she saved them all because one day she was going to read them. Lots of local private schools love magazines for their art programs. So a great way to get rid of things. And clothing not in good condition. A lot of local donation centers actually get paid by the weight of the fabric. So if you have clothes that in the maybe closet one day I'm going to wear it again, but you probably never will, or you have a sweater like I had on last night at dinner that has a big hole in the elbow that went in the garbage can this morning at the hotel, that's a good thing to put in a donation pile. And did you know the toiletries expire? My mother-in-law, remember Breck, the Breck girls? My mother-in-law had an old, actually several boxes of Breck hair color. And she had no idea when she bought them. And I said, let's get rid of them. I mean, yuck. And she said, no, 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 they were expensive. I said, you're actually going to put that on your hair? What if your hair falls out or it turns green? Toiletries do expire. So those are easy ways to get started. And broken appliances. You might have old mix masters that don't have the paddles anymore, or radios that you thought it'd be a good project one day. This is a good time to get rid of that stuff. Lots of local schools like it for their shop programs, or just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Okay, preparing. Is this helpful so far? I feel like I have deer in headlights. Yes? Good. No one's overwhelmed? Excellent. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. Thank you. All right, let's talk about preparing our home for sale, because at some point in time, we're going to be putting our home on the market, right? So some things that I think are the most important is curb appeal. That should not cost a lot of money, by the way. Decluttering, depersonalizing. We're going to talk about senses as well, and the rule of three. And those are really the things, God bless you, that you want to think about when you're getting your home ready for sale. So let's go right into curb appeal. Curb appeal, what do you notice about this house? Clean, right? Clean landscaping. And what do you notice about the windows? They're clean. Every listing I ever had when I was a licensed realtor, I still am licensed, but when I was working with clients before I came to Moving Station, every single home that I listed, no matter what time of the year, we got their windows clean. It makes the biggest difference in the world when you're selling a home. It's showing that future buyer, whether they're driving by or looking at your home online, that you take good care of your home. It's in great condition. So curb appeal is very important. What do you think the number one want for every home buyer today is? Home office. Now, even if you don't have a room in your home that you could dedicate to a home office, you want it to be in the bedroom count. This is actually just a shelving unit that's leaning against a wall to give the buyer the idea that they can make their home office anywhere in the house. But it also kind of guides us towards decluttering. The left photo looks fine, but look at the right photo when you're decluttered. What a difference it makes. You want the buyer to visualize themselves in your home. It's very important. And that brings us to depersonalizing. Now, depersonalizing isn't always photos. It could be that you have a Wedgwood plate collection. We worked with a couple in Holland, Michigan, and when you walked into their home, they were right on the lake, but you didn't see the lake through their big picture window. All you saw were all of their Wedgwood plates everywhere. So depersonalizing, again, isn't always photos, but it could be collections. Maybe you collect African art or what it's on your walls. Have somebody that you trust and maybe isn't at your house all the time, have them walk in your home and kind of get their take on what they see. Trust the advice of a full-time realtor. They're also going to guide you with simple staging ideas of what you need to do or don't do before you put your home on the market. Things we did, this was actually my mother-in-law's basement. This is just a small sampling of all of her photos, but we took pictures of all of them and gave the photos back to whoever was in it and put them all in photo books. They don't take up a lot of space. They're awfully easy. You know, it's so funny when we're thinking about getting our home ready for sale, we're so worried about what it looks like, we forget what does it smell like. If you have a kitty cat and they are cute, my son has two. I don't have cats, but I can tell you anybody's house, whether you clean the litter box 20 times a day or not, I know you have a cat. And your buyers are going to smell that cat too. Good time to relocate that litter box away from the path of the front door or however they're going to be entering your home. Does anybody like garlic? I'm a little Italian. I love garlic. If you walk in my house, you smell garlic. If you don't like garlic, it's going to be an offensive smell to you. And how many of you ever buy air fresheners? You know, you've got the Glade solids, you've got the Renewzits and all the different brands, right? If you're going to have them, that's fine. Just make sure you have all lilac fields or all clean linen. If you have different smells in every room of your house, it might smell like a gas station bathroom. So you want to make sure be consistent with your smells. But smells have a lot to do with when a buyer's coming in the home. They just can't always identify why they don't like it. But it's using all of their senses. Again, something to think about. How many of you use your front door every day to come in your house? And how many of you use like the garage door or the side door? Have somebody you trust come through your front door and ask them what they smell. Seriously, don't be offended if they tell you, because we don't use those doors. We get used to our smells all the time. Having somebody does not live in your house walking in through your front door is going to right away identify if there's a smell you need to address or not. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. So Marilyn asked and made a comment. They have a lot of art on the walls and collections, but they want to live with these things before they're ready to make their move to Mosaic. You're not going to like my answer. My answer is when you're ready to sell your home, you need to thin the herd. If you've got some collections, you need to pack them up. You're moving anyways. If the buyer needs to be able to visualize themselves in your home. And it's just unfortunately the way it goes for artwork. Maybe having whatever moving company you're going to work with, or there's lots of different vendors that can actually create those art items. Once you get your home under contract, put it all back up. But it's for the buyer to visualize themselves in your home. And that brings us to the rule of three. And this is something I swear by whenever you're selling a house. And I was very successful listing and selling homes from the rule of three. It does not matter what your home looks like at all. You could have an older kitchen, and it's lovely. But the thing that's good, or you could have a brand new kitchen with Roker cabinets and, and Wolf appliances, and the list goes on, right? It doesn't matter. It's the rule of three. On your counters, have three items only. That could be your salt and pepper shaker and your coffee pot. Three. You want the buyer to visualize themselves in your kitchen. Remember, as human beings, we can only process so much. And if there's like every part of the counters lined up with like a picture frame in the corner and the coffee pot and the paper towel holder and the salt and pepper, now the buyer is turned off. They cannot visualize themselves in your kitchen. That goes for your bathrooms too. In your bathroom, have three things. It might be a soap dispenser, a Kleenex box, and maybe you have a rug on your floor. Keep it the rule of three. Flat surfaces, remember rule of three. Your living room, three things. Now, somebody said to me that's four. It's on a book, so we're calling it three. But it gives you a visual that it's clean. And now the buyer can start visualizing their furniture, their things in your home. And that's what you want in order for a buyer to really mentally decide that your house is the one that they want to go forward with. Kind of brings us to a staging tip. A good realtor knows how to help you stage. I'm not saying you shouldn't hire a stager. I'm not personally a fan of paying money to have somebody bring in all their stuff when they can use what I have. Every realtor is a little bit different, but a good realtor knows how to stage with what they have. And we talked about this over a year ago, I think. This was a couple we worked with in Michigan. All the realtor did was had them remove all their exercise equipment, which looks like they use every single day, and pulled up the carpet and found these beautiful hardwood floors. She took two wingback chairs the homeowner already owned, and that table between the chairs is a cardboard box with a tablecloth. That is a good realtor. They know how to help you stage. And insist on professional photography. We do. Before COVID, it was like 95% of all homes sold, all home buyers saw their home online before they purchased. The pandemic brought every single person that's looking for a new home to spend their time online. If they don't like what they see, they're going to swipe past it and find a house in the rooms with what they want to see. The lens of a professional photographer is such an incredible eye. Look at the top photo. It looks like a fine home, right? Now, nothing's been changed in the bottom photo. From the professional photographer's lens or eye, that room looks updated, newer, bright, freshly painted, right? That's what you want your buyer to see. So if you have a realtor who says to you, my iPhone works great, I don't need to have a professional photographer, please run away. If the realtor says, you know what, I do like using professional photographers and I love Matterport, which is a kind of gives you a floor plan for your future buyer of what your home looks like. But I would have to charge you an additional $450. Please run faster. What is commission? Commission is paying a realtor for their marketing, right? To get your home to contract, to get it to closing. Photography is marketing. Every realtor that we research for you, every realtor that we recommend to you, we insist that professional photography is not only included, but used for marketing your home. Final tip. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier about a space plan. Pretend this is your new floor plan. This is what it looks like when that move manager or organizer or downsizer shows you what your furniture is going to look like in your new space. It's going to help you determine what you're going to bring with you and what you won't. Will that sectional fit in my living room? I'm sure it will, but can you walk through the doorway? Right? You want to be able to visually see what it's going to look like. And it's going to help you tremendously plan what you're going to take with you and what you won't. All right. Everyone's so quiet. Thank you, Marilyn. Except for Marilyn. Thank you for your questions. They were awesome. What questions are on your mind? And we're going to open this up to our friends at home as well. Ray is going to be asking questions on their behalf. Okay, let's start with one in the audience and then we'll go to at home. I'm going to go right here first and we'll scooch around.
When you deal with brokers, do you ever negotiate the commission?
Great question. Yes, we do. We do. Great example. The couple I shared with you in Sacramento, we found another agent for them, going rate in their neighborhood. And we always know what the going rate is of commission in the neighborhood, right? And this agent, very good agent, I really like her. I'm excited for her to work with this couple. She wanted 2.75% for the listing side. The going rate for the listing side is 2.5%. So we did ask her to reduce her commission. So yes, it does happen all the time, for sure. We'll go right. Oh, I've got to go. Ray's got a question from online.
Okay, the first question is there a particular order that Mosaic is?
Is there a particular order that Mosaic is going to be putting together move-ins? The answer is no. What is going to happen, and it's on your timeline, about probably like winter time of 27, maybe February, March. It's going to depend on the progress of the building. I'm going to be coming out and I'm actually going to be working with your building and identifying how many moves a day can we have? What elevators are going to be used? What doorways are going to be used? And so on. It will identify how many moves a day. Then the calendar will open up. And then that is going to be up to you to determine when you want to move in. If you think you want to be one of the first people for sure that wants to move in, let your personal relocation manager know. Although the calendar's not open, we at least can make a note and say, oh, I remember the Pooters want to be the first to move in. If you want to be the absolute last person to move in, let your personal relocation manager know. We're going to make a note. So when that calendar opens up, we kind of know where you want to be and how this is going to work. Remember, when you're moving, it is very important that we have a very organized, orchestrated move-in process. When you're paying a moving company, you're paying for the men it's going to take and their time. And what you don't want to do is have somebody else moving and using your elevator. It's going to cost you more money. So we take this very seriously and it will be very organized, and we will have that calendar and be able to schedule everybody appropriately with how many move-ins a day we can actually have. If you have sold your home and the buyer will not wait any longer, you need to let your personal relocation manager know, because that's I have to move versus I want to move. So good question. All right, questions from the audience. I know. I'm going to let you talk.
Can you expand on the quick buy option? It's something new to me.
Thank you. The question was, can I respond on the quick buy home sale option? Quick Buy is pretty neat. It is the only national iBuy program company in the country. They buy. Quick Buy will buy your home. They will send out 2 agents to come and take a look at your home, and they will make you an offer. It's not for everybody. Offers are, obviously you're paying for convenience. And I love our founder's analogy of Quick Buy. It's like when you go to buy a car, you'd make more money if you sold it on your own, but it sure is easy when the dealer takes care of it, right? So there are so many quick buy options for you. Let your personal relocation manager walk you through each of those steps. It's meant to be a fair program, convenient. It was created for senior living communities that we support. So we're super thrilled to be able to offer all of you the quick buy option if that's something you wanted to explore. Great question. Ray, I'm going to go to you.
Another question is, what about commission strategies?
Commission strategies. Well, I'm not sure in what regard, so I'm going to assume I know what you're talking about. So commission strategy with selling your home and maybe for the buyer's commission, right? Because we all know the commission change, right? In real estate happened in August of 2024. And there's some confusion out there about, does that mean I don't have to pay my buyer's realtor commission? Or can I pay them whatever I want to? The answer is yes and yes. It's really up to you, the homeowner, who's going to negotiate the buyer's commission. The buyer's agent has to write in the contract what they're asking for in their commission at the close of your home sale. You can agree to it or you don't have to agree to it. The best advice I could provide to everybody here in person and at home is talk to your full-time realtor. Get their advice on how buyer's commissions are being paid. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and not pay a buyer commission and lose the sale. If everybody in your neighborhood is paying the buyer's broker a commission, you probably have to pay a commission of some sort. But a good full-time realtor is going to be able to guide you. Your personal relocation manager is truly an expert when it comes to understanding commissions. Let them help you with this as well. But that was a great question. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm going to go here and then right back. Your sweater caught my eye.
Hopefully it's a cheery color for everybody in the winter. My question is, if you're ready to change the style of your furniture with this new life that you're leading, do you have a list of decorators as part of your resources? No, I was breathing.
I like breathing. Breathing's good. Everybody breathe. Great question. Do we have a list of interior decorators if we wanted to change our look? We're starting new at Mosaic and we want a new look. We want to go white and airy and get rid of our agreeable gray. We are working with Mosaic and working together to get a list of a couple of interior decorators. Remember, interior decorators are very personal. This is something I might also recommend you start asking your friends who they like to use. But yes, we will be able to provide a couple of resources for you in the next month or so. Great question. And you had a question.
I'm interested in having a space plan done. Sure. So the estimate for that, is that likely to be an hourly rate or for the whole job?
Great question. Interested in having a space plan done on your floor plan at Mosaic and what you currently have. It's actually a flat fee. It can range anywhere from $350 to $500. We've seen them as high as $600. Sometimes the move manager or downsizer or organizer, these specific companies, if you were to use them for other services, sometimes they will discount that or waive that. So your personal relocation manager can definitely provide you resources that are local to you to help you with that space plan. Great question. I'm going to go right back to Ray for an at-home question.
There are many realtors in Stamford. Would Moving Station consider looking at a realtor that we would like to use? And I'm also going to lump another one in. New York has a new law that changes the commission process for realtors, and are you familiar with it?
Okay, to the New York question, yes, we are very familiar with the new commission change. And regarding a realtor you really like, would we consider looking at them? So let me explain to you how we actually find you realtors to meet with. We have incredible technology that when we share that technology, use it alongside of our access to the multiple listing service, it is like the multiple listing service on steroids. And it allows us to really go in and identify which realtors were able to successfully price the home, market it, and get it sold without price reductions, or how long did it take them to sell the home, and so on. We're really able to do our research for you to find the right agents. Yes, we'd be willing to talk to the realtor, but I can't promise it that it would be the realtor that we would choose, because every realtor is different, right? And all real estate is local. It's neighborhood. So just because you're the number one agent in Stamford doesn't mean you're the number one agent for your neighborhood in Stamford, right? I'm going to go home tonight. I'm leaving Connecticut, going back to Chicago. So I have to be in Arizona on Saturday. And I will walk in my door and I will have at least 5 or 6 postcards that will say, I am the number one realtor in LaGrange, Illinois. I love that. There are so many number one realtors, but which one is really the number one? The answer is there isn't. It's based on your neighborhood. Who has sold in your neighborhood? Who's been successful? And that's what we're trying to find for you, the best that you could get to help you get as much as you can back from your investment in your home sale. Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. And okay, I'm gonna, because you had a blue sweater. I'm sorry, you're green. What's my favorite color?
Is it possible for you to segregate by zip code who's putting their home on the market? In other words, we're in 06903, which is North Stanford, and we're assuming there are quite a few people in there. So we're just curious with our strategy.
Good question. Strategy on if I'm in zip code 06903 and there are many other people in my same zip code, are you able to segregate and identify who's listing their home when? The answer is yes and no, because just because you're not listed doesn't mean you're not listing in 2 weeks, right? And so I think this is why it's important to talk to your personal relocation manager, create your own strategy. Each home in every zip code is going to be very different. And each home in every zip code is going to have its own need for marketing and its own need for pricing and so on. So talk to your personal relocation manager to create that strategy for your home sale. I know that's not exactly what you wanted to hear, but it is truly the truth because every home is different, right? It just is. So any other? Oh, I'm going back to Ray. I'm sorry.
We have an adult son who lives with us and will have to be in Stamford when we move. Can Moving Station help him find his own living situation?
Absolutely. This happens all the time. Yes. We absolutely can find a local agent, whether they want to find a rental, they want to buy a condo, whatever their situation is, furnished, unfurnished. We are certainly able to support and help and time it the same way as their timing and move into Mosaic. Okay, you can have 2 because I missed.
Will the personal relocation manager send us several full-time real estate agents so we can select the one that even we're most comfortable working with? Yes? Okay. The other one had to do with when you said moving and all the timetables and so forth. What if your move is going to be primarily new furniture and you can't necessarily say on Tuesday, July 18th, my new sofa's arrived?
Great questions. Okay, the first one is, when can our personal relocation manager recommend more than one realtor? The answer is yes. We always recommend 2. Here's funny. How do you know which realtor is right on pricing? The answer is both realtors, both agents should be within about 5% of each other. And if they're not, we're going to recommend a third. And we always, you are the driver. right, of the station wagon. We're just holding the map. This is your decision. We're only going to present to you the best agents we can possibly find to help you with your home sale to be successful. The second question was, I want to buy new furniture. How do I schedule the moves with the opening of Mosaic? And what if they're giving me a range and they're not telling me the day? You don't worry about it. Your personal relocation manager is going to put that on the calendar. A great example, a community we opened in Austin, Texas this past May. Gal had furniture being sent from Room and Board, and they gave us a 5-day window of delivery, right? We just stay in contact. They know who to call when the furniture's in, and we make it work. So, yep. Yes. Good questions. I'm going to go back to Ray.
What happens if I want to pick my own realtor, and how does that work with Moving Station?
You absolutely can pick your own realtor. You absolutely can. My only caution is be sure that that realtor is a good realtor, is a full-time realtor, and will assure you that, one, you don't need to stress out, is your home going to sell in time? And the other question is, what if your home doesn't sell in time for your settlement, your financial settlement date? Of course. Yes. Good question. All right. Any other? Okay. Pardon? Oh, okay. Well, I can expand. Okay. So Dan has asked me to expand on that. So if you work with your own realtor, you remember I talked earlier about agency? We can't get involved if we haven't referred them to you, recommended them to you. So if this couple at home does want to use their own realtor, and absolutely you can, that's no problem. But life isn't always rose petals and candles, right? And if something goes wrong, we are not able to intervene and support that home sale. We just can't. So again, welcome to go on your own, but we really aren't able to help with your home sale if you're going with a realtor that we have not found for you. So, okay. Yeah, Marilyn. Controversial. Okay. Uh-huh. Sure. Mm-hmm. No, you can work with anybody you want to. The Marilyn made a comment about the agents we sent out did not include one of the number one agents that sell homes in our area, sell the most homes. Well, okay, then we can look at that a bunch of different ways. An agent that sells a lot of homes, is it listings? Did they have buyers? Do you know, like, what homes have they sold? Have they all been in your zip code? Have they been out of your zip code? Are they representing they're all in your zip code? There's a million different ways to look at that. We do an incredible job of researching the right agents who we are confident have experience in your area. And the other thing I question when we use the number one agent is, are they going to give you the time that you need focus to get your home sold in a very specific timeline, right? They've got are they in a team? Are they working on their own? There's a million different things, but yeah, to answer that. And I was going, Ray has one more. I'm sorry. We've got to go back and forth.
Do you have a company that specializes in selling furniture for senior citizens?
Do we have a company specializes in selling furniture for senior citizens? I'm not sure what they're asking. If it's going to be like collectible furniture, collectible Oriental rugs, we certainly can work with vendors to find some of those resources. If it's something like a local depot where furniture could be donated for senior citizens to get if they needed it, we certainly can find companies like that. In Chicago, Moving Station is affiliated with something called the Chicago Furniture Bank. It's one of the neatest things in the world. It's like a giant Costco filled with all these donations people have given, and families in need of all ages can go in there and pick out what they need for their new home. There's a kitchen section, there's a bedroom section. It's amazing. It's a not-for-profit. So we love not-for-profits. And if that's what they're asking, we will find it for them.
They chatted back functional furniture. So I'm not quite sure if that means they're looking to buy functional furniture or if they're trying to sell their functional furniture.
So I'm going to ask them to talk to their personal relocation manager and we can get into the nits with how we can support what they need. Okay, I'm going to grab a question. I'm going to go right behind you. We'll come.
You started to mention this on the question about quick buy, but those different packages, are those existing financial packages or things that you have put together? You know, are those existing packages that are on the market for anybody, or things that Moving Station has some proprietary interest in or has organized and put together to assist in the financing?
Great question. So the quick buy packages or programs that we showed on the slide, are those put together by Moving Station? Or are those actual in existence programs? They are actual programs available to all of you. Good question. They are specific to Moving Station. Third party specific to, Dan, I'm going to let you answer this. This one always trips me.
So Quick Buy is a third party entity that buys homes all over the country. They provide it only as a B2B service to companies like Moving Station. Rocket Mortgage offers Quick Buy to its people. Berkshire Hathaway offers it. So it's exclusive in the senior space. But if you went to Rocket Mortgage, you could get to Quick Buy the same way, but you're not looking for a mortgage. So that's how it is. You know, one other thing that I've been hearing people talk about and marketing a home. Marketing a home is based on the environment of that home at that time of day, meaning who are you competing with? Where are they priced? How do they compare to your home? And what is sold? And when you all started looking for a house, go back to when you bought this house, you had a list of 10 homes that you wanted to see. You made it to 3. The other 7 had no chance of ever being sold. So when we say marketing a home, it's not a one-time thing. It's constantly looking at the marketplace to understand how your home and your marketing and your pricing is positioned to every other house. And that may be competition within this own room. How does your home compare to that home, and how is it priced? And you need an impartial person to be able to look at that and say, your house is worth $100,000 more than yours, and this is why, and this is how we have to price it. So then it just comes down to that consumer seeing the value and coming to your house, being one of those top 3, because they too see the $100,000 difference. And that is why marketing a home is so important, but it's not a one-time thing. It's ongoing. So at Moving Station, when we hire a realtor, and you ask the question, we require them to do bi-weekly status reports, which is how many showings, how many second showings, what was the feedback from every showing that came in, right? It smelled. We'll stop doing curry night on Thursdays, right? And then also, what new competition entered the market? What has sold? Why did that house sell and ours didn't, right? So to your question, what's on the market today will always be evaluated, but what's coming on needs to be looked at, right? Every 2 weeks, your personal relocation manager requires those agents that we refer to send in a bi-weekly status report. That is something different. And that is the micromanaging that we do to be able to make sure your homes get sold in half the time. That is a big differential. We put a lot of burden on the agents that we refer out. They have to adhere to our standards, which is this bi-weekly report, which is more work for that agent in order to get our referral. And your PRM will insist upon it, and your PRM will review it. Same thing with the photos. They'll get professional photos. We have to approve those photos before they go live, because your most awareness, 80% of your awareness is the first 2 weeks. So they put a bad photo up there, you can't take it back. So it's all those kind of things that we do behind the scenes that we're allowed to do because we're the procuring cause. We are the ones that referred you, where if it is your agent, we are not allowed to intervene in any way. We can't say that's a bad photo. We can't say those comments are bad. And we can't even say, you know, why is this price $200,000 more than this? This is a better house, right? We can't make those comments. And the problem with going with your friend is they want to appease you. You think your house is worth 1.5, it's worth 1.2. They're going to tell you 1.5 because they don't want to let you down. That's where the unbiased approach and where we come involved. Okay. So it is more than what we want to say because it gets a little confusing. But I think you all in this room can understand. You've all been very successful in your careers. Real estate is an ever-changing market, and you need to look at it that way. And that's where the success comes, and that's what the PRMs do every day. Sorry.
Good comments.
Hi, Jim.
Good job. Good job, Dan. All right. I think Ray first, and I'll come right back.
In general, if I want to move in to Mosaic on June 10th, for example, how soon should my house go on the market?
Just as Dan was just talking about, real estate is ever changing. Markets are constantly changing. That is where getting a CMA, comparative market analysis, now watching the market, talking with their personal relocation manager, talking with their full-time realtor, identifying when that right time is, that's really how they're going to figure out the right time.
Can I lump in another question about timing?
I'm sorry?
Can I lump in another question
Yeah.
about timing? Somebody else is asking, what if we want to list our house after we move, keep it for our children? Can we still have your two realtors give us estimates?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Is there any obligation?
Nope, no obligation. Good question. Okay, let me go here and I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Regarding the 3 bags you suggest, one for giving away, one for keeping, and one for donating, is part of your service having surveyed Fairfield County area here for places we can donate things to and what we can donate to various places and how good are they about tax consequences of making donations?
So yes, we have donation resources available for you. As far as tax consequences or benefits, I don't know if we have that information. I'll have to take a look at it. We probably don't because that sometimes changes as well. But we certainly can provide you with donation resources. I know we sent out a list of donation resources a long time ago. Those have been updated, so we'll certainly get those to you again. If you know of any local resources that you just love, let us know. We'd love to share them with everybody because everyone's trying to get rid of stuff and we want it to go to good homes, right? Versus Goodwill, although Goodwill's good for some things, but it is nice to pay it forward, things that you've loved and cherished, to give it to another family. So good question. Yeah. Ray?
There are several of us living in the zip code 06903. Will you be recommending the same 2 realtors for all of the people within that zip code?
The answer is no, or yes, or no. It's going to depend, right? That I shared with you how we do our research, how we do our vetting, and we're really looking to see in that specific neighborhood of that zip code who has had success recently. But no, we are very aware of multiple homeowners in local areas, and we want to be cognizant of supporting all of you to be successful in getting your home sold. So yes. Okay. And question was back here. Who had a question? You did. Okay. You did. Oh, go ahead.
The other day my friend Tom shared with me the other day that Ferguson Library and Harry Bennett Library will take book donations on Saturdays. First Saturday of every month, which is this Saturday, between 1 and 3. Between 1 and 3. I don't know if there's, but only 2 bags. So mark on your calendars every first Saturday and start clearing out those bookshelves. I cannot, to answer Marilyn's question, we have not addressed personal donations or contributions to the community from you all, meaning art or a ping pong table or anything like that. That I just don't know. A lot of people have reached out about their art collections and can we hang our art collections within the community? In the last community I worked in, the answer was an absolute no. And the reason being is that your art could be very valuable and nobody may know that it's valuable and it's hanging on a wall and suddenly something happens to it. And who's liable for that? So there's a lot of things that I think that the community needs to be careful about what we accept as far as donations or contribute. Let's not even say contributions, because it's very generous of everyone to say, we have a beautiful art collection, we love to hang it, or maybe there's a rotation of art, of resident art. We're looking at that, as Jennifer had said, but I don't want to set up I'm very an under promise, over deliver person for obvious reasons. But I think that just to be prudent in what we say, I don't want to set the expectation up that we're going to have a resident art collection or things like that. I just don't know. And we're not there yet. So I just wanted to make that comment, since I have a very large audience and we're discussing this today, that I think it's just important to really utilize the PRMs to find outlets and resources to take the things that you'd like to donate or you'd like to give away. Don't rely on us to take everything off of your hands, especially books in the library, because that's also something that people are like, I've got this book collection and will the library take it? I think that this library is a really good resource to donate on the first of every month on a Saturday between 1 and 3, 2 bags each. So thank you for that thank you for that attention to that. I just wanted to just intercept there before we kind of go a little further. Sorry, Anne.
Last week, during the week, at a very random time, I dropped off about 200 books at the Ferguson Library, and they came out with a cart and were as gracious as possible. So maybe I just was lucky. I don't know. Downtown. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Check your local resources. I mean, we have about 5 or 10 towns in this room and online that people live in. So I would definitely check your local resources, your libraries, your contribution station, areas. So it's a big task. I understand. It is a huge task. I've gone through it with hundreds and hundreds of people as they've moved in. Diane has a question. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted to follow up. I know I contributed books by driving into the back. So, and parking's tough at the Ferguson. Where did you take your books? So you didn't come in from the back in that parking lot. You found a parking place in front of. Okay.
So Carol,
if anybody gets to Westport at any time, across from the Westport Library is a bookstore run completely by special needs adults. And in the parking lot, there's a little donation. You can drop your books off and they bring them over to the resale shop. And it's a great way to donate books.
excellent. Thank you so much. That's great. I think for the sake of time, maybe there is a good idea of how we share ideas and information like this. We'll have to think about this, because maybe you guys email into us your tips and tricks yourselves, and perhaps we can print it in the newsletter or something like that so everybody can have it. But let's continue to work on sharing ideas that will help others too. So I think that that's a great idea. Sorry, I hijacked the microphone.
Well, for the sake of time, We'll answer just a couple more questions, but I really encourage you to talk to your personal relocation manager. They know way more than I do. They will be able to speak specifically to your situation, provide that plan for your plan. But I do thank all of you for being here and sharing time from your day with us. Just time for one or two more questions. Yes.
What would be the advantage of using a mover that's recommended by Moving Station?
What is the advantage of using a mover recommended by Moving Station? A lot. So if you have an IKEA bookshelf, I promise you it will not make it here in one piece. IKEA was not designed to make many, many moves. It's just the way it goes. That means you have a damage, and that means that you have to file a claim. Moving companies make it very, very difficult to file claims. It's hard. When you use a mover that was recommended or vetted by Moving Station, your personal relocation manager will help you through the claims process. We're going to help you find, whenever you hire a mover, you have to get a certificate of insurance. They have to be bonded and insured before they can even drive onto Mosaic's property. We're going to make sure that they have the right insurance, and the right insurance gets to Mosaic in case there was a problem. So there are lots of advantages. We do an incredible job vetting and researching the right moving companies. There's a lot of them, right? And some are good, some are bad, some are okay. We've already done that work for you. But when it's all great if you use your own moving company that you found on your own, if everything goes perfect. But if it doesn't go perfect, we're here to help you when you work with a company that we've recommended. So great question. Great question. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it so much. Dan and I brought you each a Valentine. Will you be our Valentine for those in person? They're in the back of the room. We brought you Post-it notes. Please take them out of the package and start using them. But thank you again for joining us. And we really look